said that you wanna talk, and I just got the feeling that it's over now. It's over now. My heart kept on sinking, called your phone, you left it ringing. Had my shoulder, you could cry on, where's your shoulder now? You said that you wanna talk, and I just got the feeling that it's over now. It's over now. My heart kept on sinking, called your phone, you left it ringing. Had my shoulder, you could cry on, where's your shoulder now? La la la, la 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 la, la 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 la, it's over
Alrighty.
called your phone, you left it ringing. Had my shoulder, you could cry on, where's your shoulder now? You said that you wanna talk, and I just got the feeling that it's over now. It's over now. My heart kept on sinking, called your phone, you left it ringing. Had my shoulder, you could cry on, where's your shoulder now? La la la, la 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 la, la la la, la la la
Hey everyone, thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying the music. Do me a favor and
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Alright, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everyone doing on this fine, wonderful, pumpy day? Good evening. Hello, Shadow. Hi, Charlie. Ah, yes. the infamous picture of me and my shadow from the wonderful world of Lapland, which I highly recommend, by the way. If I had a Lapland ref link, I'd be sticking it in the chat right now. Genuinely, best holiday I've ever been on. Absolutely incredible place. Even if you haven't got kids. Like, my daughter's young, or youngish, I suppose. And, you know, the whole going to see Santa and seeing the elves, all that kind of stuff is just amazing. She absolutely loved it. And so did I. Like, genuinely. Beautiful, beautiful place. Post the link in the group. Yeah. 10% off when you book with ref code Charlie. Hey, Charlie. You survived? Yeah, I did. I did indeed. Save us. I tried. My bid is not enough. I'll just put my hands up. I woke up here-ish this morning. I spent about 2 hours this morning recording an outlook through this move. I kind of recorded one view. It changed a bit. I recorded again. I just couldn't get it right. But quite inarticulate, I guess. I've got a little bit of a head cold still from my chest infection before, and yeah, I've been looking for longs all day, and it's just like the market has just been shite. It has been brutal. Did I sell it all before the dip? No. Did I hedge short before the dip? No. Did I try and hedge twice before we sold off? like somewhere around here. I think, was it here? Maybe somewhere like here, and somewhere back here. Like I tried 2 hedges basically, and I got stopped on both of them. And obviously now we've sold off, so yeah, I've not had the best like hit rate on shorting BTC, and I was overexposed into like these moves. Not overexposed, like I've held like positions like this, right? So I've like round tripped this, for example. Same one like Vanry, like these dips, fucking brutal. But I've just, I've eaten this drawdown from the highs and not hedged or sold. ETC popped off and back in there, but yeah, I certainly felt the pain of it. Probably not to the extent that others have in terms of like every penny that I've got in the markets, I'm fine with losing. It's not gonna change my life massively if it all went to zero. I'd be fucking annoyed about it. Don't get me wrong, but all my risks are very calculated. But anyway. We'll go there next year? Yeah, and honestly, it was amazing. Who's the next James Bond? Oh, it's a good question. I actually watched the James Bond No Time to Die film on the flight home yesterday, and there was 15 minutes left of the film when we landed. Little tidbit that you didn't need to know. But I then, as soon as my child went to bed, I was like, I'm watching the rest of this film. Because stupid people made me put my laptop away, which I thought was bloody rude. But anyway, I imagine the next James Bond is going to be a they, them, it, or something. Survived whilst down 1 year's salary. That sounds about right, mate. If I what I try and do, how I quantify things these days is like how many years of living expenses am I gambling? So, if I buy like, if I want to buy like 1% of a shitcoin and it's 100 mil market cap, like that's a lot. So, how many years living expenses am I gambling that this shitcoin might be the next Ethereum? Probably too much. But anyway, let's get into the stream instead of just gassing, because I've just done 5 minutes of absolute gassing. So we'll start off with a shout out to our partners at DSYNC, which had a really lovely run and a nice breakout, and has obviously felt the wrath of the rest of the market in terms of this pullback. Now, some of you might notice, like generally, one of my favorite setups in bullish conditions is former all-time high retests, which I will find the schematic on my page, but typically look like that, fuck around, typically go just under the previous all-time high, appreciating that this doodle's a bit shit and a bit janty. Like, let's do it again. You wouldn't guess I was a fucking artist, would you? Not the way I've moved a mouse, but I haven't been moving a mouse for a few days, so bear with me a little bit. So fuck around there and then blast it back out again. Like, that is one of my favorite setups in like bullish conditions. Now, obviously, what we're going to do is talk about, are we still bulls? Are we still bear? Or are we flipping bearish on this? What are we doing, like, in general with regards to the market? Like, for me, I'm still going to be unapologetically bullish. I sort of don't see a reason to flip massively bearish at this point. And maybe that's me, maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong all day in terms of, like, the sell-off, etc., and just how much we've kind of de-risked on like ETH and alts in general. But you see these kind of patterns, like really strong sell-offs with alts following. Like, looking at spaghetti, a lot of spaghetti is down, like let's have a peep. Like, if you were just to, like, intraday, 18 to the kind of, I suppose an average would be about 10%, maybe like 10% intraday. And actually, if you go back to, a couple of days ago, like, everything on average is down like 20 to 25%, I guess. Maybe a little bit less if you're stronger, but yeah, it's pretty fucking brutal. But pullbacks happen in bull markets, and, I'm not going to be afraid to kind of bid and try to play to the long side. I still think Bitcoin in and of itself hasn't really done too much I was actually hoping for a bit more of an ETH bid earlier, so you can see this another like poor take from my outlook this morning, which was I thought that if we were going to show strength on altcoins, and if this was just going to be a strong sell-off and like a V-reversal momentum bounce, and what we'd want to see, which we didn't, is this consolidation up here and this kind of area of value really acting as like a point where we bounce from with quite high demand, and what looked like it kind of was happening is when we got this little test down here and we started like moving up. So okay, well that's clearly the liquidation wick. That's everything, taking out these lows, taking out all this, like brilliant. Like that should be the kind of start of a V. You can start looking at range reclaim setups on various altcoins, and the kind of confluence that you need is it actually just holding above this 375 level, which it didn't do. It just proceeded to absolutely shit the bed and front run this low, which we are kind of now bouncing from, but a few divergences across the lows, which are nice if anyone actively trades divs, particularly in these kind of conditions when I still think we are broadly up and to the right, and if we're not, it's too late to head short in my opinion. So you either wait for a failed breakout up here to head short and jump on the downside move, or I just wouldn't short into this low particularly. So divs at extremes, nice to play, particularly in favor of the high time frame trend. But I'm still bullish on a high time frame basis. You start looking at like the 4-hour RSI. That is usually a reasonable buy opportunity in a bull market. From a daily perspective, basically coming back to tag the 50. From a 4-hour perspective, we are oversold. Doesn't mean just buy it by itself, right? Have some invalidation, have some thoughts around where you are wrong. Obviously, every trade is just a trade, but I'm still a favor of up and to the right in general. Even though BTC does not necessarily look as good as ETH. We'll cover that in a sec. Does it look like memes are holding up better today or bobbed out? I wouldn't say so, because the thing about memes is most of them have just been like down here in terms of like a basket. We had a good rotation on Pepe first thing this morning, which is half the reason that I fucked around with my outlook, because like literally I was banging on about it, and I was saying down here, like this is a really good example of like a high beta coin, and when it flips, so when Pepe, I'm just gonna make it a different color. Actually, I'm gonna decolor Nero. Let's do it that way around. Get rid of Nero. So what was it? Yeah, look, like Pepe, absolutely selling off horrifically compared to everything else. But when they reverse, so when a massive outlier starts reversing in terms of relative strength, which is why I love spaghetti so much, you get the opposite, and you get it becoming the strongest coin of the day, or at least in this rotation. Obviously, like this, if this isn't the full day, I've locked it to 750 this morning. But when you have a strong outlier of a coin, the chances are that it will follow that Bitcoin beta, like in both ways. So Bitcoin, let's redraw that. I draw this pretty much every stream, I think. But Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down, etc. And your coin goes up a lot more, and then down a lot more, and then up a lot more. And that's what you want to be trading, really, because if you're swapping the highly liquid Bitcoin with thick books and nice fills for volatility, well, you probably want to go for, has to be liquid or reasonably liquid at least, but the most volatile altcoin. And that was Pepe this morning. But yeah, in general, to answer your question, memes have not been looking too hot. And memes in general are kind of at the extremity of the risk appetite, right? So if we look at like the rotation at the moment, Ah, Popcat finally fucking bouncing. We got Bonk Whiff. Oh, okay, so maybe this rotation. Yeah, I went and had dinner, and then I had a little chat with Magoose, which obviously meant that I missed the fucking actual rotation of the day, despite being sat here like a twat all day waiting for something decent to long. We missed the actual rotation. Perfect, classic. We got XRP in there, which is, I'm going to classify that as a meme, to be honest. Might as well. I'm going to turn the music up a little bit, just so you don't just hear my dulcet tones. There is a little bit of background music. SPX and Giga are flying today, Muad coins. Yeah. December 2020 bull market was about 30% on alts, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, you're probably right, mate. Like, in general, like, bull markets, the huge leverage flash is good, in my opinion. I'm not saying that it's definitely the bottom. I'm not saying anything of that kind of ilk. But if you want to kind of go, well, where do I start bidding? Like, how do I get on board some of this? Like, we've had these pullbacks, several times before. Clearly, this is the last time we kind of charted it, which is essentially just the same as BTC. But you get these moves. It's what's that? 19%. All right, probably not as extreme. That's only 10%. Fuck me. Like, there's actually a really good indicator which I keep candle percent change. It's one of these. Ugh. The reason I like it, not that one, it's another one, is because, anyway, fuck it, we'll find it, we'll just look at it visually, is because it shows you like the extremities of movements. Actually, maybe I will just try and find it. Candle percent. See if it's Alan. Yeah, that looks like it. Good old Alan. CPV. What do we want? Low high, yeah, fuck open and close. Let's just get rid of all that. So what this is showing is the percentage movement of these candles, right? And when you look, like, this is what we had today, right? So let's keep on the daily and let's go like there. So we typically had like these extremes, not marking bottoms perfectly, right? And again, that didn't really mark a top. It kind of actually just was a pullback and a bit of a bottom. But like, is it enough to say it's an extreme, like quite an extreme move? Yeah, I'd say so. There's not many moves that are kind of outside of that, right? So do we think that like this is a top? Maybe it is, but like from my perspective, I just think it's like it's a reasonable place to look for some strength and to try and play a rotation to the upside. The divergence across this high in terms of the daily, it's kind of played out to a large extent. Let's just move that back. If we're in a bullish, this is just a pullback in a bull market and it's going to find a bid, it's probably going to be close to here, i.e. we want to see that 50 hold and we want to see it show some strength. But judging by, these two wicks, kind of okay for now. The bounce on Bitcoin dominance was massive. Yeah, it really was. And that's the thing, is like, this is obviously total crypto market cap, but if you look at it from the Bitcoin dominance perspective, like even if you just look at this, of course, the rotation happens now. Perfect. Even if you just look at this, like, Bitcoin's down like 3%. That's it. Like, Bitcoin went down the other day. I can't remember what it was. I think I was actually in Lapland and I saw a load of tweets about it, but Bitcoin went down and alts barely budged. Right? They barely fucking moved, and usually it's the complete opposite, right? Bitcoin even thinks about moving 1%, and altcoins just shit the bed. They just die. Whereas today, you know, the last couple of days, yeah, Bitcoin's down 4%. 4 fucking percent. And everything's just chopped a core of its fucking value off. Wild. What do I think about KHAI? I really like KHAI. I think KHAI was one of the coins that has the worst performance to hype ratio ever. Because, like, for me, and I told you all about KHAI at like point, I don't know, 20 or something, and when I said, all right, I'm buying some more here, like for this cycle's run, and it went to 0.7 or something like that, didn't it? Yeah, something like that. Points. Oh no, maybe $1. All right. Well, I'm better than I think I am. Lovely. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I tweeted it. What was it? Back here, at like 0.20 or something. And I was like, right, buying back in KHAI after the big run before. But like, this was piss poor in terms of performance compared to like all the other memes, right? Bearing in mind that I held the bag from like back here, which was September, which, you know, in crypto terms is like a fucking lifetime, right? And all it could manage was a measly, like, 4 and a bit X. I mean, it's still good, right? But when other memes were doing kind of 10, 20, 30x, yeah, it was a bit crap in terms of how I expected it to go. I expected it to go back to the highs, to be honest with you, but you know, got it wrong. Still made money. Maybe it's not over, but I just don't understand why it didn't catch as much hype as everything else. But whatever, you know, I could be wrong. Hey Doc, how's it going, man? Thank you. Yes, it's good to be home. I actually genuinely feel revitalized and refreshed, which is incredible. And yeah. Oh, my wife's put a selection of wines in my office. I didn't even notice. Lovely. This could be an interesting stream, boys and girls. We might get to the on-chain gambling part of the stream sooner than we expected. What is a leverage flush? Sorry, I'm a bit new. Nah, that's a really good question, mate. So let's assume that nobody knows what a leverage flush kind of is. So if we take, let's just take a clean chart, right? Oh look, short, called it in the paid group. Yeah, I did this on $1 billion leverage. Actually, it's this. Let's pretend. No, I said I'm not taking this. Like, it's just, we were talking about the divergences going across here and stuff, and actually that it doesn't look particularly wonderful. You've got diagonal supporting it and so on and so forth. But I don't want to take that short personally. But evidently would have been okay. Let's go for something a little bit more volatile than old Bitty. Let's go for like Sui or some shit. So the idea of a leverage flush is really simple. That what happens is if you're long on something like this, right? Let's just say we're long from here. We're going, oh, yeah, this is looking magic. Like, I've drawn my little magical support and resistance line. I'm happy. I'm gonna long here because I think this is great. And actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to leverage up to the tits, and I'm going to go like 10x, yeah, because this is definitely going to be the one. This is going to be the one that breaks out. It's going to go to infinity, and this is the rotation. And obviously, what happens is, you know, let's say I've got $1,000. That's my entire balance, yeah. So I instead of $1,000 though, I'm going to put $10,000 in there. So I'm going to use a bit of leverage. Actually, do you know what? Fuck this. Instead of my $1,000 balance, I'm gonna put on like $25,000 position. Yeah, I'm gonna use 25x leverage, and like ignoring. Let's put my stop down a little bit. Ignoring like margin maintenance and stuff like that, which is what you need to do, what you need to keep to have your position open. Sorry, I'm just trying to do the mental maths a little bit. I'm struggling. Is you take out this position with your $1,000 balance, and it's a $25,000 position. And what happens? Price starts going up. You're a fucking genius. Price goes back down. You go, oh, it'll be fine. No, it'll be fine. And then bosh, you eventually get liquidated down here, and the position's clapped. And essentially, you close that. That position is forced closed or taken over by the liquidation engine, depending on your exchange of choice, and it just smashes it out. The idea is that you get like cascading like liquidations essentially, or you get cascading price action to start getting hit. So if you imagine, right, if we take it the other way around, like some guy's long from here, stop there. Someone's long from there, stop there. Someone's long from there, stop there. As soon as price starts moving down to these stop locations, you get the first sell wave hit, which pushes price lower. Next sell wave hits, pushes price lower. And you get these like cascades, which is just where like all these positions are just selling, and there's actually no buy side liquidity. There's no one willing to like bid this, because actually no one's really got any resting orders in. Markets just pull all that out anyway. The market makers just go, oh fuck this, I'm not standing in front of this volatility. So then you get these huge liquid moves, or you get these like liquidation sweeps where you just go like bang, all these positions start getting liquidated, which forces sells, which forces price lower, which forces more sells, which is just this whole cascade of pain, right? And usually it finishes with a big kind of capitulation wick like that, which looks fucking horrific, because all you see is like big red candle, and then normally you see it get in these conditions like bid up pretty quickly. So that's what I mean by that. And the kind of confluent point of that is you look at the volume, right? Look at the volume of what's been transacted at these points, and you can see the big fucking monster dildo here in this candle. Huge amount of activity in the 10-minute candle. Like if you go down to like the 1-minute chart, you see this like pure V reversal, bang, pure V reversal, but really no follow through strength. Like usually when the market's like pretty risk on, you start seeing like the reclaims of like these former levels quite quickly. I know that this is a 1-minute chart, I know it's SUI, whatever, but we couldn't even breach like former lows, even on like a low time frame rotational basis. So yeah, not particularly good and strong. Anyway, that's kind of what a leverage flush means. And when you look at even things like simple heat maps and like heat maps of funding and stuff like that. Now funding's like a strange indicator. If it's useful, is it useful? Yes, no, maybe. There's a million people that can debate it and can sit and you can sit and academically argue it for hours on end if you want to. Like personally, I couldn't give a flying fuck. Markets can remain bullish or bearish for longer than most people can remain solvent, so it doesn't matter too much. But is it a nice factor that actually, from a funding perspective, like perps, people trading perps got fucking hurt on this move, on this pullback? Is it a nice thing? No. Is it a good thing for the health of the market in general? Yeah, probably. If risk gets battered at a point, if all the horny perp people get battered for long in the highs, everyone's fucking piling in longs up here and then they all get fucked, like, is that a good thing? Well, yeah, because actually all of this kind of build up of exuberance and euphoria, etc., gets punished, and then everyone can't stay winning forever, I suppose, is my mentality. At some point, some people have to lose. That's kind of how markets work, right? For everybody, for someone to win, someone has to lose. If I bet it's going up and you bet it's going down, one of us is fucking losing. Good grand rising, Trash Panda. 100 people watching? Hit that like. Yeah, cheers, Leah. Do you also hedge your spot exposure like TraderXO doing? I sold a fair amount of it between 98 and 102 in terms of like my long-term bags. And I failed to hedge my spot BTC in my trading account, although I did sell 10-20% of it from my trading balance. So I've got two balances. I've got the stuff that I've held since the 2017-2018, which is like mostly gone, and the kind of intraday, well, not intraday, it's not intraday, fuck no, it's not intraday, my kind of spot trading account, if you like, where I piled into Bitcoin, basically all in this, and I publicly bought a few 100K, like up here, like there, I think, and there, and I've held pretty much 80% of that through all of this. But it's undeniable that there's divergences forming in terms of momentum and in terms of like very clean divergence on the 2-day, very clean. But until you start losing, let's just delete that again. Until we really start kind of losing, one, the diagonal, which we've lost, and two, like this, like meme level in here, then I'm not particularly worried. But it's gonna make my job as an intraday alt rotator very fucking difficult if we start closing under 94, because then my next target really has to be down here, an absolute minimum, a kind of 86. And the confluence of that is you've got the divergences playing out to a sweep of the lows, and then if people haven't held Bitcoin and want to get in on Bitcoin, something like that will be, to me, the next best thing that you're going to get, aside from like a grind up and then a range breakout. But it's not a surprise that we chopped around the 100K mark, the big psychological level. Do I think we're still going to go up and to the right? Yeah, absolutely. I think markets forward looking though, and they price these things in, right? So in theory, we've got the positive price effects of Trump coming in and all that bullshit. It's already priced in. There's that classic meme, isn't there, which is it's priced in. You're gonna fall over in 3 weeks' time. It's fucking priced in. Nothing you can do about it. But from a chart perspective, it's either distribution or it's just a range and consolidation in an uptrend. Why would I think it's distribution? Well, from a momentum divergence perspective, yeah, there's an argument to say that it should pull back and actually give you another entry potentially. But really, in these conditions at the moment, like I'm just choosing to stay bullish. And if this comes down and does this is going to give me a nice entry for the next leg. Alts will get absolutely fucking destroyed in this, should it happen. But for now, I still want to be playing rotations to the long side and trying to find strength. And obviously, I go for dinner and a nice rotation occurs. Wonderful. So yeah, that's to answer your question, Clemens. I tried to short it twice and failed. Happened to me yesterday, halved and your portfolio. What did, mate? Now taking the rest from leverage. I see. Right. Yeah. So the thing about like leverage is, and I learned it the hard way. Like I've never liquidated or blown up an account like through using leverage or doing anything like that. Like I'm too much of a pussy, to be blunt to you. But and it's weird because I almost feel like ashamed of it. That I should be fucking a degenerate gambler and completely retarded and be like, yeah, I've blown up 10 accounts, mate. It's how you do it. And to me, it's not. Like, I don't want to be the guy that got lucky once because he fucking smashed 50x and managed to catch a pump. No, I want to be the guy that can consistently come to the market and go, give me some fucking money and walk away with it, right? Like that, I'd much rather that. So if that's my goal and that's what I want it to be, why would I want to fuck around with 50x leverage or 25x leverage when you're basically saying, let's play the lottery, let's play the lottery ticket of timing? Because it's very easy to look at charts and go, or to be bullish on crypto as an asset and to say, yeah, I think over time it's going to go up and to the right, yeah? Like, especially after, like, you know, huge sell-offs and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, well, I'll smack some EMAs on it. And, you know, crypto is generally a highly trending asset class. So it's not impossible to go wrong with it, obviously. It's reasonably easy to go wrong with it if you're on a low time frame basis, but if you start going to like a weekly EMA, like, crypto tends to trend in whichever way it's going, right? Because it's hyper speculative, and it's basically a speculative premium, and it's huge psychological like premium and value, and that's it. It's basically fear and greed in a monetary form. So why would I exacerbate my chances of fucking it all up by smashing that leverage bar up when I can just go, yeah, on a minute by minute basis, crypto's pretty fucking hard to predict. On a high time frame basis, you could probably just use an EMA. Like this EMA cross, when price is above it, you know, fucking buy. You're like, great, buy there. You would have ridden this whole fucking trend out, and you'd still be riding it, right? And it will probably cross somewhere over here if this is the top, and then you sell it down here, and you've ridden it from what, 21 to probably 87. Pretty fucking good, right? I find lower time frame rotations kind of not easy to predict, not easy at all. None of this is easy. This market is not an easy market, I don't think. I think it is, you know, hyper intense. I think it's the most rewarding and lucrative market in the world, and probably in like all of human history, but it's not necessarily super easy. I think people want to give you the impression that it's super easy so that they can, you know, typically sell you stuff and get you to go and gamble your money. But yeah, a long lecture about leverage is, if you can turn a $1,000 account into a $10,000 account, and you can do that consistently, why the fuck would you need leverage? The only reason leverage is useful is to minimize the amount of funds that you keep on an exchange. So instead of holding $1 million on an exchange, you hold $100,000 and use 10x leverage. There are nuances around that, and there are some difficulties with that as well. But we'll go into that. Anyway, leverage rant over. And also, leverage rant after a big sell-off. Cheers, Charlie, for warning us before that happened. Oh, wait. The Bitcoin ETFs have bearish divergences and gaps to fill. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, is like, there was obviously this huge rush, and I don't doubt that will come back, but will it come back before we have like a decent sell-off? Don't know. If we had a decent sell-off, like if you're looking at this from a weekly chart perspective, we've had a huge run, yeah? And if you saw this chart and it looked like this, right, and it pulled back and then it started forming a higher low there, would you say that's bearish? No? No. Of course you wouldn't. You'd say that's bullish. You'd say, yeah, of course it's going to have a fucking pullback. It's just ran for basically weeks straight. It ran like 60% in like a few weeks. You know, I will concede that the market is dead if we come back to 72. Right? That to me is like, I mean, alts would be bad by then, right? So this is kind of a classic paid group leader cool thing, right? So I can get away with this and be like, oh, if it goes down 25 fucking %, it's over. Because alts would have gone down 50 to 70% in that time anyway. But my point being that, like, for my spot Bitcoin bags, like, they're getting sold if price even starts, you know, coming near to this level, because I would not want this entire election pump to be unwound. It kind of reminds me of the Tesla pump way back here. Is it here? I don't know, wherever the fuck it was. I think it was here, maybe. I think it was there. It was that. Like, as soon as that happened, pretty sure it was there. Could be wrong. I think it was that there. Maybe I've made that up. I don't know. Wherever the fuck it was. Like that. you kind of don't want that kind of huge initiation event to be tested again. It's the same for the elections. Exactly the same for the elections. Like this big dick candle, same kind of move there, right? Like that's all I can see it as. Popcat back. I mean, Popcat has been like literally so suppressed. I'm mildly annoyed that I've lost this, and we've got Algo going as well. Love that. You got chart Inge? We'll do some charts in a bit, like requests. Should this Bitcoin correction play out, Bitcoin do get a good leg up? If followed by Bitcoin lead branding, I would see Bitcoin top being in. Yeah, Popcat back. So yeah, maybe Popcat in terms of like this rotation for pretty good. Obviously Popcat got absolutely shat on. I think memes will outperform the rest of the vaporware by end of the cycle. Yeah, I do. Because memes are one of the highest beta that they have been for a long time, right? And I think, yeah, time to Bert leave. Speaking of incredible memes, obviously, I would have to mention Bert. Like, I don't know, I'm getting so much shit for it. I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, people can buy their own bags, people can have their own conviction, like, or not, as the case may be. You know, some people like telling me like, oh, fucking you're shilling this shit all the time. Like, yeah, because I got a massive fucking bag of it. Like, and I want to see it hit at least $1. Why would I not chill the fuck out of it? Like, I don't understand. Like, work for your bags, motherfuckers. Everyone else is like, oh, it's cute, you know, every other coin's like, oh, it's a cute cult. It's about the belief and all this kind of stuff. It's like, fuck off. You know, I will just relentlessly bull post this until it hits $1 or it goes to fucking 0. But it won't be going to 0 on my watch. Hex. Yeah, let's go. Get 70 likes, we can chart 1 inch in Hex. I can chart 3 inches for you right now if you like. JK. Can you please chart Walton Chain? I can't believe I won, Phil. I can't believe I won. If you, some of the old school will get that. Lol, Bert, I hold a bag. F said would take us to the moon. Yeah. Like, genuinely, I just, like, a lot of memes, like, to be honest, this is where I tend to get bored and fucking capitulate bags, and then they go and do, like, this. And I'm not saying that Bert's going to do that, right? So don't fucking, not financial advice, do your own research, blah, blah, blah. All that kind of shite. But it doesn't look particularly bad. And, like, we've had plenty of runs where it's just, like, ran up, like, 80%. I was bull posting it down at, like, 40 or 50 cents, wherever it was the other day. It was 40-something. Yeah, it was back down there, wasn't it? And then at 50, and it's like, you know, 2x's, and then with people that have held through it, and then people have round-tripped it, and then it's, oh, Charlie, you're a cunt. It's like, yeah, cool. Thanks for that. From Walton to Walton, wow, I won. Yeah. Still holding a bag of beer with 40% down. I think this is the thing, right? This is the thing that, again, I did a massive rant on today, but I've done a million rants like this before. You should always know if the market goes down 50% in a day, you should always know how fucked you're going to be. You should always know your value at risk. You should always fucking know it. And you should also know if you're comfortable with that, right? I've got a number, let's call it $1,000 in the market right now. If the market goes down 50% in a day because Coinbase is insolvent, because everyone bans Bitcoin, because a quantum computer has been invented that has just cracked Satoshi's wallet and market fucking dumped it, I don't know, I don't care. Something happens, it all gets fucked. How fucked are you? If you don't know the answer to that question, then you probably haven't identified your risk. If you haven't identified your risk, how can you be comfortable with it? How can you be comfortable with something you don't fucking know? You don't know what your risk is. So how can you accept it? or not, as the case may be. It's all about control. I've done so many like threads on planning and patience and control and just understanding your balances, and like even if you use like some portfolio tracking software like Coinly or something to do your taxes, and you do all that, and you don't necessarily use it for the tax filing purpose. You just use it as a portfolio tracker, but you can look at it and go, how much am I deep in altcoins? Oh shit, 90% of my portfolio are great, so I've just lost 30% of my 90%, which is basically a third of my entire portfolio. Great. But anyway, I digress. Just it's not too late to change that, and a lot of people just kind of give up and capitulate and go, oh, well, I've had a bad day in the market, so it's too late to do that. No, absolutely fucking not. Now's a perfect time to do that. Like, grab it by the balls and jump on. But anyway, I digress. So what I'm looking for in general is like, I talked again through this earlier about how I want to see range reclaims and how I want to see relative strength. And we had it on ONDO earlier, and as you can see, it just didn't work out. Now, I would have used this as like a compounding play if I was in early enough to get the kind of 4 o'clock rotation, because it was actually really, really good. And you can see that's why ONDO is it's highlighted here, because it had a massive show of strength this morning on Spaghetti, and I've been kind of waiting for something interesting to happen on it. It's just not yet. But range reclaims in general, and by that what I mean is, you should kind of all, if you've watched any form of like TA-ish videos, be able to identify what a range is. So there was actually a range tool, but it was a parallel channel tool, but we'll just go through this. So range, typically when price is oscillating between the highs and the lows, and it's quite consistent in terms of when buyers step in and when sellers step in. Yeah, you might have like a deviation above it, which is this, and you might have the same below it. But what I'm looking for in general is, given that we've just done this in the market, is I'm looking for reclaims. So I'm looking for something like this that fakes out, that reclaims, that shows some form of strength, preferably in some form of like diagonal break down here, that says, do you know what, this is value, this range, my first target is my range high, and then anything beyond that I kind of want to play. So anything that I can get confluence from in a thought process. So like ONDO, if I just get rid of like all the stuff down at the lows, down like RSI, etc. This diagonal, it's a bit of a fucking meme, right? Diagonal lines are a bit of a fucking meme in general, but it kind of shows you where the market structure change would be exceptionally bullish, because you've got all these highs that kind of haven't been swept at all. They've not been punished yet. So if anyone's short up here, they're going to get clapped. And equally, when you start looking at like this kind of pivot in terms of just like where there is support, so just baby pips TA, you can start making an argument for, well, we've got a range reclaim, we've broken a downtrend, we've had a really strong coin in terms of relative strength, and the picture that you're painting for the next leg of the market on something like ONDO, which I don't have a bag of, by the way, so I'm not like shilling it to you as a like, go fucking buy this now. That's your next move, and that's what you do on days like this: is plan your next move and try and get on board strong rotations if you can, and you don't be a dickhead and go to dinner at the exact time that they happen. Fucking XRP up 10%. That is mildly annoying, because I said that XRP is one of the coins that I wanted to jump on for like another rotation. I've kind of been I kind of ignored it for a little while. Thoughts on weekly bear div on Bitcoin? We kind of went over it a little bit. And when you say weekly bear div, it's not really like, that's not like, I'm gonna have to zoom in really bad because my eyes are fucked. You know, that's not a bad div. Like, high, right? But when you start going down to like 3-day, you know, that's pretty clearly a divergence in terms of this. And when you go on to like 2-day, it's even cleaner because there's the Automoss layer as well. So yeah, we kind of covered that off in terms of like, if it does pull back, then I can see it going to like the 84 to 86 area down here would be the next logical place. For me personally, I'm kind of too late for that short. I don't really want to take a super wide short in terms of invalidation, because you know, my invalidation is basically the highs, and my target really is this low here. So you're kind of looking at a 1 hour trade, which there's not enough for me to take it, and like I don't want to bet that it's going to come down here, which kind of makes the trade like worthwhile. I just don't want to take that trade, even though it'll probably fucking work out perfectly now, but whatever. Charlie, could you please check Seapool? No. But thanks for asking. Do you actually consider your own Trader XO EMAs on the 4 hour for trading? No. If I'm honest, not consistently. I'm not like using it as a real like I'm gonna load up a chart and go, what's the trend scanner telling me? The reason that I don't is because I'm lazy. No, it's because like generally it's not my style of trading. You can see some of my like thought processes, like a bonk range reclaim would be fucking glorious, but it's also quite depressing that, you know, we've got the cross, we're pointing down. You know, even if you just sort of look at ignore this, you know, if you just look at this, like the relative strength of bonk, like we had a really nice run up, we're now pointing down. And again, if you want to start getting super bullish on it, it just needs to reclaim, and there's your long, there's your trigger, you know, bit of a wider stop so you don't get fucked with low time frame price action, and hopefully we get the next leg of the market in terms of themes. But no, I don't use it very often. I'll use it to take profits, is one of the main things that I use it for, to be honest, but I'm mostly using it for like EMAs like this. So just looking at let's do it the other way. Let's invert and let's look at this. So let's say I'm long, so we're inverting it, right? So just ignore the colors and stuff. Let's say I'm long from down here, and my trade looks, I don't know if it's gonna, yeah, okay. So we'll do this. You know, my trade looks something like this, and I want to ride it to, you know, here. If I'm being particularly defensive, or I'm starting to see like Bitcoin start to sell off, like assuming that this is actually a long, and you know, Bitcoin's kind of starting to do this, or it's forming some divergences up at the highs, or something that I don't like, you know, actually there is a real high time frame kind of resistance here that we've just rejected pretty fucking solidly from twice. It doesn't look like we're going to crack, and actually, you know, we might have divs going across, etc., and we're starting to lose whatever trend or whatever time frame I'm trading. Then I'll use that as a reason to kind of get out or close. But what I find it more useful for is reason why I shouldn't close. Because if I'm sat here, I'm like, oh my god, it's tagged this. Okay, in my head, I'm like, take profit. Come on, Charlie, take profit. You can do this. Like, just fucking take it off the table, because I'm a pussy, like I said before, that I don't want to overly risk. And then it retraces, and I'm like, fucking hell, I just left, you know, X% on the table. Like, shit, I've given half of my profit back, like literally half. What a fucking idiot. Oh my god. Like, and then you go, well, have I lost the trend? No. Is the trend still in my favor? Yeah. Alright, well, why do I want to close it? Just because it's pulled back a bit. And then suddenly, you know, you're back up here, and actually, you know, the reason for the trade is still there, it's still good, you're still in, you know, you're still well above the trend, you're still well above the EMA, you're still, you know, showing strength perhaps relative to the rest of the market. So why are you closing it just because it pulled back? Because, you know, your expectation of trading cannot be this, because it very rarely fucking is. Don't get me wrong, sometimes you long something and then bang, there's a 10% candle, and it's like one of the best feelings, you know, as someone who spends hours and hours a day looking at this shit. Like, you know, you literally press the. I've had it before. I've clicked long, and like smashed in a market buy, and then the next 5 orders were like, just, you know, ass rippers that just sent it plus 10%. Like, the drawdown is literally 0 and you're instantly up. I've had it the other way around as well, and that's not as fun. But yeah, to answer your question, that's one of the best ways that I use the trend scanner or EMAs in general, particularly for intraday rotations. So when you are trying to catch stuff like this, XRP. Grr. I even fucking said it. I mean, I know it was up here somewhere when I said it, but it's still fucking going, isn't it? Bloody thing. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, mate. Like, it is really good, and if you are like, oh, I'm just gonna re-invert the chart and stuff, and you know, even if you start looking at like daily, like, you know, one of my first systems that I used and coded was based around EMAs. Let's see if I can maybe find it. I'm not sure I've still got it. Might be up here. Personal. These two. Yeah, you're starting to see it's not too. It might be this one. Yeah. Yeah, just some EMAs basically. Obviously a bit funky stuff. What was this? Oh, this is that's the XO trend scanner. But there was another one that I did that was different to just EMAs, but whatever. I'll find it and maybe I'll publish it or something, just for the lols. Can you check SPX 6900? Nah. Check Nero? Nah. This was confirmed as a high? What, as in the weekly div? Do you look at alt BTC pair to find strength and momentum shifts? No. It's a really good thing to do, but I don't do it because it's just another chart. And this, if you think about it, is alt BTC, right? Because you're looking at Bitcoin here, and these are alts. And if you go this versus that is alt BTC pairs, my friends. Because XRP versus BTC is going to look like this. And just to kind of prove that point, we will load it up, and we will obviously look at it on the same time frame that this is. So this versus this, it should be kind of the same. See? This low down here at 1811. 1811 down here, and XRP starts ripping. Yeah, where are we going next is probably the question. Take a look at hype again? No. Nope. I'm not feeling very helpful today, guys. Not in terms of like your shit coins, because I want to cover some of my coins, and you know, where I think there's decent value or at least opportunity for the next rotation. So yeah, we'll do a couple of chart quests at the end, I guess. In all seriousness. We covered off DSYNC, so looks good from like an all-time high retest perspective. It's actually getting bought up now, which is nice. ETC, I mean, that was an absolute banger. Like, everyone fucking called me a cunt for that, but yeah, they can suck my nuts because that was a banging trade. Bonk, I still think is, you know, reclaimed territory up here. I wish those fuckers. Yeah. Anyway, BNB the most AIDS painful trade in the world. Broke out and then absolutely cucked the entire breakout, of course, because I've been holding it for fucking weeks and it feels like months. I'm still going to hold this, but it is what it is. So Peanut is one that I wanted to kind of put on people's radar because I think Peanut offers one of the easiest types of setups in terms of like reclaim and strength. And you were seeing this at the start, right? But what I said here is I want to see some form of relative strength, otherwise it's just going to die. And it's just going to like rip out. So you want to see some relative strength as a trigger. And you want to see it on spaghetti, even just on a low time frame basis, right? It's in here somewhere, Peanut. It's that peanut coloured one. Peanut butter coloured one. And yeah, if we can start getting some strength on this, then I think this becomes a really, really easy, like, in play run to at least this high here. But, you know, ideally, you'd kind of target something like that. So it's about, for me, going, well, what do I want to see? What's the next kind of stages of the market? Do I think memes are going to come back? Yes, I do. What do I think? What kind of memes do I think could come back? I think Peanut could have, like, you know, sensational headline or something like that, like Coinbase listing, all that kind of crap. Like, it, you know, those things could happen. Is it dead and forgotten about? Maybe. But from like a listing to dying off, like, it's not a very good pattern for Binance, is it, really? They don't really want to list stuff and then have it just absolutely irrelevant and shite. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like a reclaim, a little bit of a consolidation, and then a rip. What if it's over? Then it's over, mate. Like, that's it. Do you know what I mean? GG, see you in 4 years. Do I use spaghetti for higher time frame scanning as well? Yeah. I mean, you know, what if it's over? What if it is? So alright, let's do an exercise with the chat. So, trying to think of the best way to do this. I kind of want to ask a couple of questions. Let's just go for the simple one. Are you, in the next 3 to 6 months, bullish or bearish? So in 6 months' time, do you think prices will be higher, in which case type bull? Or do you think they will be lower, in which case type bear? Let's go. Let's go for a bit of a sentiment check. Bull or bear in 6 months' time? And we'll come back and we'll ban everybody who got it wrong. Ooh, it's actually quite a mix. I might actually need to, like, get my fingers out and my toes out and start counting. That's summer, bro, bear. Bull but starting the downtrend. I like that. You could be a paid group leader as well, mate. You've just hedged with the perfect answer. Oh, so bear, bear, bull, bear, 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 bull, bear, bear. It's actually pretty mixed. Bull, 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 bear. Summer, bro, bear, bull, 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 bull. Selling May. 2 months bear, 6 months bull, bull. Yeah, okay. So I'd say you can do a poll. Yeah. You can if you're not retarded. Unfortunately, that statement precludes me from managing the poll. Let's see if I can actually do it and do it properly. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Yes, fucking doing it. Right. There we go. We can actually get a quantified answer. Look at this. I've just learned something. Every day's a fucking school day, boys and girls. I'm so happy. Just mastered the internet just before the market's about to die. And it's all over. I'm so pissed that I sat at my computer all fucking day today, and the 1 hour I spent away from it is the fucking hour that we bottom. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many hours, years, days, weeks, months, whatever the fuck you've sat and played this game. Sometimes you can't help but feel like the market's watching you, and it's like, he's AFK, fucking send it all. Go. He's gone downstairs, fucking bid everything. I'm joking. Well, I'm kind of joking. There'll be another trade, right? I'm not chasing this. There'll be some nice reclaims and stuff as well, like across the board. Like I said, I'll just sit and wait, right? I'm used to sitting and waiting, but yeah. It's a nice higher. Ooh, 65% are saying higher. Nice. Remember to vote the same. Oh yeah, I need to cast my vote. See what a great audience you have. Yeah, I do. Genuinely, you guys are legends. Like, genuinely. I always find it really weird that people kind of take the time out of their day to come listen to me rant about markets and stuff. But I guess it's because I've been here for 7 years now. I have different views, I guess. I have a pretty unique style of trading. And of course, I'm British, which makes me an incredible streamer. Apparently. No, I just hear people like the British voices, and it gives them some form of authority. Apparently, if you sound like you speak the King's English. Can you first accept my request? Check NEIROCTO. I might just check it just for you, if I can even spell it. NEIROCTO. Okay. Let's go with the Bybit spot. Yeah, mate, that's They will pay you to own it in 2 weeks' time. It's the same shit, mate. Really, really simple. Like, right, chat. We've talked about this. We've talked about this already on this stream. What are we going to do with this? Let's do a live teaching experience. CBS is a good example. He told me he was French. I think he told the tax authority he was French as well. Reclaim of range low. Yes, Charles. Love that. Like, literally. Like, I'm gonna draw one line and then call myself a trader. That's it. Hey guys, I've spent 7 years analyzing hundreds and thousands of charts and price action and all this stuff. I've read hundreds of white papers. I've invested in thousands of Ponzi schemes. And all I'm gonna do is draw one fucking line on a chart. Woo! Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I'm not interested in buying this. Why would I be interested in buying something that is just shitting the bed from a local price action perspective, right? I am never the guy that buys the bottom. I'm just not. That's not me. I will buy close to the bottom if I think it's the bottom and it's got a huge amount of relative strength on it. And usually that happens in bear markets when there's zero volatility, right? And then something does this, and I go, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm bored. I'll go for that. And it's not even the bottom, right? It's probably the bottom of a high time frame chart, but on a low time frame, 1 minute basis, it's not gonna be. Wow, it was so simple. Yeah, literally, like, I don't want to trade this. Why the fuck would I want to trade that? Like, let's try and find an excuse. All right, so there is a divergence down here, which is okay. It's kind of playing out. It's played out a little bit, but it hasn't broken out of this little range of consolidation yet. In terms of relative strength, there's not much. Like XRP is just flying because it's a cunt. Yeah, I just like that ain't me, dog. That ain't me. But yeah, it would obviously be better with more price action, so I could find another pair. But put bluntly, it's the same as Bonk, right? As both Bonk and Nero have essentially the same setup, which is just give me a fucking reclaim. Or show me some strength that's breaking this downtrend. Like, all I care about is like a change in structure. Like a change in structure. Like, show me some form of relative strength, or show me a higher low in terms of market structure. Like, give me something to get excited about. At the moment, it's just shite. It's just downtrending price action. You look for a specific low time frame setup, or wait, when balls tingle? Both. No, I do. Like, I cover off a lot of them. Like, I suppose that there's a combination of things, right? Depending on if it's just spaghetti, if it's spaghetti and price, if it's both, if it's contextual, if it's a news trade. So I've taken a few news trades, but I don't do that like hugely often. You know, it's more when there's like the XRP news trade is the last one that I took with, you know, very decent size, and really pushed it. That'll give you an idea. That was months ago. Binance is the full chart on Nero. Okay. Please open the chart, the Graphane chart. I know what the Graphane chart looks like, I think. Unless it's been rugged. Because it's, I saw Money Lord post about it and said he'd put a house in it. And then it just like went 10x in a day or some shit. So, nice. Let's have a peep. Graphane Soul. Yeah. Up only. Call it a volume divergence and make it up. It's going to fucking zero because I don't have a bag. Yeah, I mean, it's just super strong, right? Like, this is the thing is like, I was trying to explain this to a friend, is that there is almost always something in crypto that is bullish, right? There's always some coin that's fucking ripping. You can check Dex tools or Dex Screener every single day, and there'll be something that's up 10x, something that's up 5x with good liquidity, and something that's up 2x with insane liquidity, most probably, right? So there's almost always opportunity. Now, finding that opportunity is really difficult. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of coins and all that kind of shite, but there is always something. And this is kind of one of those. Yeah, I don't know where my DMs were about this Graphane thing. We're back at like 3 million, but someone didn't message me. He's got several houses now. Yeah, he's got a fucking nice house now. That's why they call him Money Lord. But no, I mean, he's had some banger calls, I think. He's one of these people that, like my friend Eric Cryptoman, like Eric's like, just, he's got so many bags of so many shitcoins, but he's like printed a lot of 100x's, but that's because one, he's got money, which he's got from, you know, doing that, and it's much easier to take the risk, right? If you've got $1,000 portfolio, you can't really just park it in one coin and kind of sit there and wait and be like, well, you know, and then go and buy another coin, and then go buy another one, and then go buy another one, and then suddenly, you know, you've just run out of money so quickly. But what kind of money makes money is the old adage, isn't it? It's the once you've got, you know, when you don't need the money, like you put it in here, for example, and when it gets to here, you think, well, fucking hell, I've just like quadrupled my money, happy fucking days. Like, you know, my $1,000 is now $10,000 or some shit. I'll fucking have that, and then it runs up to here, and you're like, oh, shit, that was 100k balls. Essence Beltronic? Yeah. I mean, he told me about Nero a long time ago, and I completely faded it like a twat. What we got? SPX 6900. The thing about this is, like, I don't like the meme. Just put it bluntly. Like, I just don't like it. It's like, what's the one? It's like Miladies and all that kind of stuff. Like, I just think I've got a controversial opinion of people who like anime and stuff, and it's not for me. Like, I don't get it. And this whole SPX 69000, it feels very artificial to me, but whatever. Maybe I'm just a boomer. Do you know what I mean? Maybe this is like the TikTok moment, and I'm like a MySpace generation, so I just don't get it. This is like trying to teach a nan how to use the PlayStation. It's just not their target audience. You know what I mean? But whatever. Where's a good entry? I don't fucking know. Here? Back in time? Get the DeLorean out and fucking head back there and buy some? Like, I don't want to buy shit like this when it's up at like 600 million market cap. Like, why would I want to fucking buy this? Even if it doubles, it's a fucking dog shit meme coin. I know it's on Binance now. You can trade it on perps. Like, trade it on perps. Just get spaghetti out, find some relative strength, find a sap, and bosh, off you go. Like, why would I want to just buy into this? I prefer memes that are just 100% gambles. So my Burt bags can go to fucking zero tomorrow. I don't think they will, but I don't want to be trying to like. I'm not convinced this is the future of finance. It might very well be, right? It might go to 10 billion. I don't fucking know, but to me, it's just, yeah. Yeah, Filecoin. Got any ideas for new announced listings, e.g. ACX now? Well, somebody, a mysterious Telegram person, has messaged me about several Binance listings, and he was like, this is going to get listed on Coinbase, this is going to get listed on Binance. I think he's said like six things, and so far 5 of them have come true. And it's like, am I a criminal now? I didn't take any trades off it, by the way, like literally 0. But yeah, it was pretty fucking wild. He's like, I've been noticing these wallets buying this. I'm like, yeah, that means nothing to me, mate, but cool. And then like, he just messages me periodically and be like, ACX on Binance now. I'm like, oh. I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe I shouldn't just I've literally ignored like 4 or 5 free listing pumps. But yeah, literally, let's have a peep. What did he say? Yeah, ACX on Binance. He just quoted it. Remember this? Peanut and Mog on Coinbase. And this? Oh. What else? Yeah, it's quite funny. Just like, yeah, like actual, but you don't know. Like, I get like 100 people a day being like, hello, sir. Can I have $5,000? You're like, yeah, of course, mate. I got nothing to do with it. Like, please fucking take my money. Like, I would love to just give somebody $5,000 because you've taken 30 seconds out of your day to message me. There's definitely not friends, family, or anything like that I'd much rather give the money to, or charities that are close to my heart that, you know, I want to help out. There's definitely none of that. You fucking, you know, Dave from down the road, messaging me on here, going, can I have $5,000? You're the one. You're the one. But anyway. Doc just gets people asking for money, mate. I get so many fucking people asking, honest to God. And then you feel bad because you don't know the ones. You know, some of them are like, oh yeah, my son's got hit by a car and now he's blind, and you know, I need like $10 for a wheelchair for him. And you're like, okay, like now I feel like a cunt for saying no for $10. And on the other screen, I'm like $20,000 down, I'm like, okay, well, I can't spare $10 to put this guy's son in a wheelchair. Like, what an asshole. But you know that it's probably the same guy whose son was in a wheelchair last week on a different account DMing you for $10. And it's like, you know, $10 doesn't really mean anything to me, but it might mean something to them. But you start it, and then, yeah, you just kind of don't know where to stop, if that makes sense. Because as soon as they know that you start giving money out, you just get DMs all the time, having made that mistake last cycle. But anyway, you hate cold callers? Yeah. Ask irrefutable proof? Yeah, but then they send you links, and then you have to click links, and then you have to go through stuff, and then it's just not worth the risk. You just give to people like Vortex ICS. Actually, I haven't given to him in ages, because I'm a cunt. But like, he does like verified charity work. He'll give you the receipts and all that kind of stuff, and he's obviously like good guy on CT, like Wiz, SC, Capo, all that. Like, give him money for stuff, and I've done stuff with him before. But yeah, like, anyway, don't know how we got onto that. Oh, because of actual alpha DMs and stuff. But yeah, we faded a rotation live on stream. Perfect. But we did start off by saying we're bullish, and yeah, kind of had a nice reaction from the market, since, you know, I want to see like strength on like FWOG. I want to see something like this run and go. We've covered Bonk. We didn't cover Doge. Again, I was talking about divergences on Doge, but in terms of like this, right? So compare this to Bitcoin, right? Let's just sort of flick through the chart. Like, not too dissimilar in terms of structure and playout, but obviously the pullback on Doge is much deeper because it's a meme coin. But like, you know, am I worried that kind of Bitcoin follows the same path as Doge? Yeah, potentially. But as far as I'm concerned, this is actually a pretty nice pullback in terms of like this low. I would like it to have swept a bit further, but whatever. Again, I don't want to necessarily try and knife catch this, but if you start reclaiming, you know, simple low time frame levels in terms of like rotations, then yeah, maybe it starts looking a bit better when you've got the confluence of like diagonal breaks, you got level reclaims, and you've actually got that move kind of to the upside after a very punishing day, right? But yeah, best option would have been XRP, as we talked about a few minutes ago. For wheelchair guy, yeah. Like, if local, I know I can see my money going. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, genuinely, I've actually got an ambition to, well, I'll say it, even though it makes me sound like a bit of a cunt. I kind of want to, like, ultimately, I want to steal everybody's money from crypto and build something like a cancer ward or something in my local town, and just have it named after me, and that'll be my little legacy instead of a like shitty park bench or something. And, you know, leave something like that to the world. That would be the dream from crypto. And then I'll just have my little name on a plaque in a ward somewhere, and everyone will walk past it and go, "What a fucking stupid name." Helping people make sure I can't. No, it's just kind of like, you know, having pretty wild ambitions in terms of, like, you know, some people are probably sitting there going, I don't know, I'm going to pay my phone bill this month, or my food bill this month. And I'm like, yeah, I'd like to put an arse bill. Or at least a wing. But, yeah, you kind of get the point. You love the benches in the UK that have nameless citizens? Do you actually post your trades? And anyone looking into ETF? Yeah, I post them when I take them. Like today, like I said, I literally haven't taken any. I've been waiting for strength, and it's just not fucking been there. And then as soon as I go AFK, which you may have heard the slight frustration in my voice, that when I had my dinner at like 6 o'clock and then came back and chatted to Magus and then jumped on stream at 7 o'clock, that's been pretty much the intraday rotation. How's Foggy looking? Foggy is not looking good. So I basically bought 50 cents and ended up selling it for like 40 something, like down here, because I was like, ah, this is just not holding up, and then it's just died. You know, for me, again, show me the reclaim, show me the strength, show me that this is like the kind of bottoming pattern. So if I delete this, right, that is a pretty parabolic run. That's a strong sell-off, right? With no real, like, normally parabola into lower high. Nice easy short, yeah. Kind of argue it there, but it's not great. Like, for me, this is now a range, and I don't want to try and catch this falling knife from this deviation up here, up the range high. You know, sweep the range high, sweep the range low, come back, reclaim, base it again, and then run it back. Like, that's kind of my trade plan, which is what you would have seen, and that's what all those doodles on it were before. You know, I tried to play the breakout here in terms of like the downtrend, etc. But same thought process for this run. Sorry, you got rugged. When you visit my cancer ward, you'll be thankful. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Imagine that. I'll just call it like the rugged cancer ward. What's your final portfolio allocation? Like the ratio between Bitcoin alt stable? God, that's a complicated question because I don't know the answer to that right now. It's much more dynamic this cycle than it was last cycle. Last cycle I was very autistic about how I allocated everything. So I had like 25% spot BTC and ETH, 25% like investments. So these were like longer term holds on altcoins, things like Rune, which did like 1000x, various other like bits like Doge, KHAI. I'm trying to think what else was last cycle's stuff. I then had like 25% trading portfolios. That was intraday trading, spaghetti, etc. A little bit of mix of scalp and swing. And then I had like 24% of like not random stuff, like more investments, so like pre-sale stuff and all that kind of crap, and then like 1% which was like NFTs and just high risk gambles basically. And the 1% ended up becoming like, I think at one point it was like 40% of my portfolio or something, because NFTs just blew up. My NFT portfolio was like 290 times what I put into it, like overall, at one point. Bearing in mind, like I had one that I bought for $1 and sold it for like $120,000 or $105,000 or something like that. Like, fucking wild. People, you know. And like, I was always trying to rebalance, so whenever I made a good chunk of money on my spot, or my perp trading, I'd go, right, I'll put some money into Bitcoin and make sure that like my Bitcoin and ETH stack was like 25% of my balance and blah blah blah. Whereas like this cycle, I've been a bit more dynamic. So when we were down here and when we were talking about this long and this breakout trade and all that kind of stuff, the original target for the breakout trade, by the way, was like 97. I think I did it, something like that. But anyway, when I did that, I basically like rebalanced my entire trading account from like USDT collateral to Bitcoin, and I put money into like Bitcoin that I had like sat in stables and stuff, and just smashed it all into BTC, like up here. So my allocation was probably closer to like 30, maybe 40% Bitcoin, as opposed to anything else, because I've still got like a lot of on-chain stuff. I've got loads of bags, things like Burt, right? So like, is Burt a bag? Yeah, of course it is, but it's just a lottery ticket, really. It's a gamble. It's, you know, a sizable gamble, but it's a gamble, and I'm not in the position where I need to micromanage all of those things. You know, there's some low caps that I've got which are doing like fucking 25k daily volume or something like that, like Sage. I've talked about Sage lows, but today's volume 23k. fucking nothing. Like literally 11 makers, like 6 buyers, 6 sellers. Like it looks fucking dead. But like the team are grafting, and like I think I own a lot of this, so yes, I'm shilling my bags. But yeah, I think like this is just written off. Like if you go, oh Charlie, how much money do you have in crypto? I don't fucking include this number in it. You know, it's either gonna die, I just go fuck off and I go, oh look, just round trip X amount, or it's gonna do nothing and then just rip one day. And like, I'm not gonna rebalance my portfolio because at some point this amount was twice the amount yeah, that it was, or I think, you know, I put it in the group down here somewhere at like 2 mil, I think it was, and maybe it was back here. So yeah, back there because it had this this run. And like, you know, old me would have wanted to rebalance and take some profits and fuck around. Like this cycle, I've just been like, meh, it's either going to a fucking 100 million or nothing. So it's kind of like difficult for me to say like what my full allocation is. I've still got some stables, largely just as a result of not massively managing everything. So I haven't really answered your question. I could probably, well, I could log into my tax software and tell you actually. Oh, we've just hit 4.6k subscribers. Thank you to everyone who has liked, subscribed, and done all that kind of stuff. Thank you very much. What's your happiest trade ever? Not the most lucrative, the one you felt this is it for the first time. The one that always springs to mind, and I should have, maybe I shouldn't have done, but I don't know. The one that made me feel like I'd made it. Not financially, even though it was a good trade. Not like in any other way than, and I think some of you would have heard this story before, but back in 2021, when we had this wonderful price action down here, I remember it vividly because my birthday is around this area, and a very hungover Charlie came home and was trading Matic on this very day, and I basically caught the absolute pico top of Matic, and was it then? I'm trying to think of the day. Yeah, I caught the pico top of Matic and I shorted it all the way down to like here, and then yeah, I shorted it all the way down to like here. I sold it a little bit too early, but then when it started bouncing again, I longed it up here and caught a lot of that move. So I'd cashed out all my shit, like from the whole market, like way back here. So I saved myself from the entire drawdown of the market, which was like 70%, and I shorted this with fucking size, and I basically doubled my account off this move, because the setup was, right, and this just doesn't happen, is everything was chunking down, like everything. And I was like, what the fuck? Like Matic just stayed like this, and everything on FTX was just dying. And I was like, I have never seen this like hold up. I was like, either this is going to be the greatest long of all time, or it's going to start fucking popping off and it's going to catch up. And as soon as it started selling off at this high, I just started slamming in fucking size. And I was like, alright, fuck this. I'm either wrong here, because everything else was like down 10-15% by this point. It was mental. I'd seen this like once before when near held and everything else was selling off, but it wasn't like a brutal sell-off. It was like 5-6%, right? Maybe it was less. Maybe it was like 4 or 5%. And I was like, what the fuck? So as soon as the market showed even the tiniest bit of green, I went ape shit long on near, and near just literally in one candle went boop. There's 10%, and I was like, oh my god, I don't think I've ever earned so much money so quickly at that point in time. But yeah, that trade and then closing it down here, and then like or down here whenever it was, and then flipping long again like in the same day, and riding it back up, and like literally doubling my account that day while everyone else was in fucking tears. I was just like, oh my god, like that was like the best trade that I'm probably ever gonna have, in terms of like, one, completely manage my risk beforehand in terms of like cashing everything out and just like avoiding the massive drawdown in the market. 2, caught a big short. 3, flip long and played the long side, the best performing asset. And like that performance versus my 2017 performance of, oh my god, I'm gonna be a billionaire. Holy fuck, what the fuck have I done? Like, that was the happiest, man. That was, yeah, even like now, I'd still like, I'm not trying to gloat about it, you ask me a direct question. But yeah, that was the one. That was the one for me. Matic AI coin now. Yeah. That was my first day trading. I was long. What, up here? Fuck me. That's a painful intro, isn't it? How'd you get into trading? How long did it take you to learn enough to go full time? Did you have a mentor? Wow. Lots of questions there. I'm gonna do a couple more questions and then I'm gonna shoot off. But no, it's a really good set of questions. I got into trading actually because a lot of my friends were like making money off crypto back in August, maybe July 2017, and they were like, oh, we're buying this and we earned like 500 quid, and oh, I've got $1,000, and they're like, okay, like this is like interesting, let's gamble. And I was always fascinated by like banking, investing, and all this kind of stuff, but kind of always felt like I was precluded from it because I came up from not a poor background, but certainly not a wealthy one. Not like super poor or anything like that. Like, basically my mum was a waitress, and whenever like she had a good week at work with tips and stuff, like we might be able to go out and go to like nice places in the summer holidays as an example. And like her and my dad split up because of like money differences a lot of the time. And like when I guess it probably forms part of the construct of my brain is that when I saw money as like a big pain point in people's lives, my obsession with money kind of started. That not as money as like I don't wear a watch. I haven't got a fucking watch on right now. Like I'm not a luxury watch kind of guy. Like I've got an old Sum 41 t-shirt on right now. Like I don't sit here in Gucci and all this bullshit. Like money's got a much better place than that kind of stuff. But money buys people freedom. It buys people choice. It buys people just the ability to do whatever they want to do. And trading and investing is one way that you can make your money work exponentially harder than going to work and earning $1,000 a month or $5,000 a month or whatever. Someone is always going to employ you because they can make more money off you as part of a collective, or think they can, than what you will ever earn. So yeah, it's kind of the trading thing. Yeah, I had lots of mentors, really. Like a whole CT is mentors if you use them right. Like people like SSE, Hexo, like Magus, like in different forms. Like they're all my friends, and I rate them a lot as traders. Like Asaka, loads of people who I've kind of taken bits of their game and combined them into my own trading style. And how long did it take you to learn full time? I think that choice that's a kind of personal choice, and it's not about the time it takes you to learn to go full time, because I was quite lucky as to how I came into crypto and where I kind of started in that respect. But like it's more about the discipline, I think. Oh yeah. I can't believe I never knew that. Cheers for that. Legend Trash Panda. But yeah, that was a day to remember forever. And yeah, I think, for me, like, trading was it just became a passion. It just became an obsession, right? Like, I will never stop doing it, and I actually love the Kobe quote. Kobe quote. Yeah, I clearly need to stop streaming in a sec, but of just because you've got high score on a game you love doesn't mean you should quit. And it's like, fuck me, that resonated, like, that hit me in the feels so badly, because it's just like, you know, my wife always says to me, like, why don't you just quit? And I'm like, well, what else am I going to do? Like, I guess I could travel a bit, but my daughter's in school, like, I can't exactly just fuck off and go to, like, Dubai and live there or whatever. Like, yeah, I don't know. When you love the game that you're playing, why would you want to stop playing? I just don't get it. But you know, it's why you see people like Elton John, you know, do concerts at like 75 and stuff. It's fucking love it, right? But anyway, job's not finished. Yeah, sorry, I've just bored you all to fucking tears, and what you actually want is Charlie, make me rich, you cunt. Don't fucking sit here telling us about you and your life. Give me $1 bajillion right now. I want one trade to make $1 bajillion. Otherwise, I'm unsubbing. Oh, I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed I missed the XRP trade. Fucking watching for that all day. But yeah, there you go. XRP algo. Tasty. See, algo's another like dino coin. Actually looks alright, doesn't it? Like a structure perspective. Tom Cruise voice, show me the money. Yeah. Oh snap, this is how... Yeah, exactly. Straight for all-time high, boys. Fucking bang. Bosh. There you go. List price. 43-hour trade. Let's fucking go. Easy. Tighter, this is bottom. Yeah, you're right, Jingo. What a fucking idiot, man. What the fuck am I thinking? That was the bottom there. See how tight we can get this, right? 88-hour trade. Well, we're clearly going to wick above that a little bit, aren't we? So let's go for the old Hundo R. There you go. Pretty sure that's the one. 100-hour trade. Let's go. I mean, if XRP can do it, yeah, man. I mean, the XRP 589 trade from the stream a few weeks ago. We all laughed. And now it looks pretty fucking reasonable, to be honest. 420 TP sounds about right. Or 690, yeah. Well, it's one of the two. Nice, that's a tweet. Oh, thank you. Cool, man. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. I think I've ranted for a long time. So obviously, I'm 2 weeks into Paragon. I love the group and content. Still at the tip of the iceberg. It's great that you guys have put together. Ah, cheers, Jay. That's a really, you know, I'll pay you after the stream, obviously. Oh shit, I said that out loud. I'm joking. No, genuinely, it means a lot because, you know, we have put a lot of time and effort into the group, and to be honest, it can be quite intimidating for people who join it because we are genuinely trying to be an educational group, and me and Magus had the vision of, like, we wanted to create what we didn't have when we started trading, right? So it covers my style, it covers his style, and it covers Doc's style as well. So, you know, Doc's an incredible trader, very, very good, especially with like newer coins and keeping up with everything. His kind of trend following system, I'd say, is probably like the easiest to pick up straight away. And then like my stuff is pretty simple in terms of rotations and plays, and then Magus's stuff can be simple, but he can also jump into the absolute depths of the order book and how it all, you know, swings together in terms of spot v perps and futures basis and all this kind of stuff. And it gets a bit too complicated for my brain. I mean, I understand it, but I don't use it on a day-to-day basis in terms of trading. So there's a lot of stuff in there for different people, right? And there's even like my shitcoin, dog shit, low cap shitcoins, or whatever it's called, channel, where I put some some bangers and some rugs. Let's put it that way. you do very much get what it says on the tin. But it started getting a bit silly when people were like, I'm just going to ape my life savings into whatever Charlie puts in that channel. I'm like, oh, we might have to tone that channel down a bit then, boys, because, yeah, that's kind of not, you know, didn't really set out to do that. Newcomer, where do I find where you will stream in the future? So there should be a schedule on here. Maybe if you subscribe and like do the notification thingy, it should tell you, but generally it's every Tuesday. I mean, there might be a little bit of disruption going into Christmas, because I love Christmas. It's probably the time where I get to see my family the most, like my extended family and stuff, so yeah. Doc recommended this channel in his last stream. Ah, that's very kind of him. Well, yes, I would recommend both Doc and Magus's channel, so I will give you their channels in a minute. But yeah, get in the Paragon and learn. Cheers, Pods. Thanks for taking the time to stream. Helps people a lot, sharing your thoughts. Ah, thank you. Your Paul's deep in ENS. Look at the chart. I'll tell you what, just for you, my brother. Last one, we will we'll look at ENS. Generally, though, if like Ethereum isn't doing, oh no, not another billion-hour trade that we fucked up and fumbled generational wealth on. Oh my god, would you look at that? Look at that, literally. Stop it. No, I mean, it's, dude, the whole trade thesis was clearly, this was going to be the breakout on the run, and it wasn't. So it was slightly unlucky in terms of stop placement, etc. But whatever. Kind of the lesson from that, and that's something I said on I can't remember what chart we were looking at, but wider stops in like these kind of conditions where we are generally trending up to the right, will pay off massively. I've had a couple of stops that have been too tight and cost me a lot of money. Whereas if I just like lowered my position size and widened the stop a little bit more, yeah, would have not let go of some good coins, etc. But yeah, ENS. Right, let's jump into it. So, how I try and look at the markets in general, and I'll just do this as like a quick tidbit for you guys, and then we'll sign off. Let's start at some like high time frame stuff. Like, what can I glean from the monthly? Fuck all really. Weekly, not a lot. Like, there's no divergences. There's not really a lot here. The closest I can get from this, like 2 week, is this, right? The whole like range ish down here. I mean, it's not perfect. So let's go a bit lower, right? Let's kind of like look at this in terms of like level. Okay, that kind of makes sense in terms of like resistance here, like breakthrough but failed, resistance. Again, attempted breakthrough, failed. It flips to support. So yeah, you kind of get on board with like this level here. Yeah, it looks pretty good from a price action perspective. And you look at this level, not really tagged it there, but really does make sense there. And then this, in terms of like how it's tagged it and then bounced, is pretty nice. I actually want to go to like the 3-day and be like, okay, well, let's come back in from oversold to just kind of normal RSI territory, but there's no divergences or anything to be kind of worried about. Not even div at the highs. There's not really a lot in terms of like momentum. Again, daily just reset. Actually, do I want to call this a low? Not really, because no real relative strength. Oh my god, this is torture. No XRP, no. Stop. A nice divergence across these lows on the 4 hour actually. But again, it's not particularly strong. Like, if you're in this coin as like a hold that you've had for a long time, like for me, you're basically wrong. Like, if we come back and close in this like 30 area, right? The reaction to this support here, i.e. wicking in and then just being bought up pretty goddamn quickly, is good in my opinion. And now I'd probably be a little bit more aggressive and just sort of go, well, anything under 30, or sorry, under 31, 12, or whatever that level that we've marked out to be, is probably game over for the rotation. Because this, just doesn't look particularly strong. And I have to close it at some point if I am wrong. But like, if we lose this support again, and it comes down to here, then it's probably just going to trend down, right? There's no reason to kind of think that it will stop. But if this 4-hour div plays out quite nicely and you start getting a rotation to the upside, then here, range low up here, if you wanted to add to your position or whatever, that's kind of the first place to look at it. What, Elliott wave count? Right. How do I ban people from the chat? I do Elliott wave, mate. If you can make it work for you, though, I'm happy for you. Genuinely. Those WhatsApp messages keep going in. Yeah, I know. It's probably my wife saying, are you actually going to come and watch this new TV series with me? Or are you going to spend all night chatting to your imaginary internet friends? My wife has texted me saying that my daughter is reading because she can hear me shouting. But that sounds like her problem, not mine. So yeah, I'm gonna maintain a bullish bias, guys. I'm gonna say that, like, I personally think / hope that dip was for buying. Obviously we've had some really nice rotations. We've got a 100-hour trade going now on algo. We'll call the bottom on that, so that was good. Not financial advice, do your own research, etc. Shout out to Desperate Network for sponsoring the stream. Looks like that actually might have been the intraday low in terms of the all-time high retest, which is one of my favorite setups of all time. We've got trade plans for things like Bonk, if we get that reclaim, or we get some form of relative strength, FWOG. We've got positions already in STX, Vanry, etc. Kind of hope that they actually show a bit of reversal. For Popcat, it's the same setup, like for pretty much all the memes, in terms of, like, I don't want to be dabbling at this low, but if you start reclaiming a range, then or a key support level, then I could be convinced to jump on board. And that's kind of it. Like Bitcoin, there's only really 2 levels that I care about, which probably delete from my chart. Yeah, but we'll just go back. It's kind of down here and kind of like through. Probably more here. So like this, resistance, support, etc. So yeah, hopefully that's enough for people to be thinking about. Yeah, not sure there's much else. So I'll love you and leave you on this fine Tuesday evening. There's 101 people watching now, which is absolutely wild. So thank you, Mum, thank you, Grandma, thank you, Auntie, thank you, my 15 phones that I've connected to watch this. It's been a pleasure listening to my own voice. But no, genuinely, it's wild, and thanks for all the people who have liked and subscribed and all that kind of stuff. I think in the new year, once stuff has settled down a bit for me, I'm going to push the YouTube channel a bit more. And I'm going to see if I can get to like 10k subs, and I'm going to do probably do you guys prefer longer videos or like shorts? Because I might just start doing a series of shorts and like pay a video editor or something to make them a bit interesting. And do like some quick edu series stuff. Shorts, long. Combination good. Short definitely pops off. Shorts might be good. Take one coin, explain your reasoning. Short videos better if you want to gain followers. Ah, cheers. Bit of both. Longer, probably more to learn. Yeah, okay. So maybe we do. Maybe I'll just try it. Maybe I'll just try both. We'll just fuck around and find out, shall we? We'll fuck around and find out together. That sounds good. Cool. Shorts will get you more engagement. After attention span decrease every 6 months. Yeah, that's very true. 8 to 12 minute videos. Yeah, I mean, my 25-minute outlook this morning was probably a bit too much. Shorts are good. No, excuse me, not want a fucking coffin. Jesus Christ. Right, well, I'll lovingly leave you all, and I'll see you again at the same time next week. Thank you once again to Destra Network for sponsoring, and I'll see you all on Twitter. Au revoir.